Namah Shivaya. Hello, children. Welcome you all to this special podcast about the life and teachings of Kanchi Paramacharya, His Holiness Sri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Swamiji. So, through this podcast, I'll be sharing some inspiring incidents and messages from Swamiji's life. First of all, a disclaimer: I'm not an official source, nor do I claim any authority over this subject, but my only intention is to give you some information about Swamiji. So, the information that I'm sharing here is gathered from various books and resources available over the internet. So, my main aim is to introduce you to the wisdom of Paramacharya, and also I want you to inspire to read more about him. After you know some information about him, maybe you'll be interested to learn more about him. His life is filled with simple yet profound lessons. We can all learn from them and apply them in our daily lives. Since we are talking about Kanchi Paramacharya, let's first start with Kanchi. Kanchi's full name is Kanchipuram, and it's also known as Kanjivaram. It's one of the most sacred cities in India. It is famous not only for the divine spiritual heritage that it has, but also for its exquisite silk saris. Kanchipuram saris, Kanjivaram saris, they are very famous. If you see Bollywood actress Rekha, she always wears these Kanjivaram saris. And these silk saris have been famous here for the previous many centuries. Even now, many people go to Kanchi just for buying the saris when there is a wedding at home or something like that. So, at the heart of this Kanchipuram, the presiding deity resides, and she is goddess Kamakshi Devi. This Kamakshi Devi temple is very significant among the Hindus, and it attracts thousands of devotees from across the world. So, apart from Kamakshi Devi, Kanchi is also famous for Shiva's worship, Lord Shiva's worship. The five elements we have: the earth, water, fire, air, and ether. For all these five elements, there are five different temples across South India. And for example, if you look for water we have Jalalingam, that is in Jambukeshwaram. And for fire, you have Jyotirlingam, that is in Arunachalam. And for air, you have Vayulingam, that is in Srikalahasti. For ether, you have Akasalingam, that is in Chidambaram. And in the same way, for earth, we have Prithvilingam, and that is in Kanchipuram, that is Kanchi. So the presiding deity here is Ekambareshwar, and he is worshipped as the Prithvilingam. Since Prithvilingam is, I said it is earth, so it is made of sand. So because of this reason, the regular abhishekas that we see in the regular Shiva temples, they are not performed here. According to the legend, this Prithvi Lingam was personally consecrated by goddess Parvati herself, and she also worshipped the Shivalingam there, and she performed tapas, the penance. She performed the tapas over there. So this lingam is very famous. So apart from Kamakshi Devi temple and this Ekambareshwar temple, the next important thing here is Sri Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham. This is a great spiritual center. It was established by Sri Adi Shankaracharya. So, Sri Adi Shankaracharya is the first Peethadipati for this Peetham. Peethadipati means the person who is the head of the Peetham. So, after Adi Shankaracharya, there are many who have taken that place, and the 68th Peethadipati is Sri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Swamiji, about whom we are discussing now. Now, this Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham has played a crucial role in preserving and also propagating Sanatana Dharma. See, in the good olden days, whenever there is a problem, God used to come down in different avatars, like Lord Rama, Lord Krishna. But now this is Kali Yuga, and now many of the avatars will be like saints, the sannyasis that we call them. All these sannyasis have sacrificed their lives, and they have helped in maintaining and preserving our Sanatana Dharma. Because of their sacrifices, still now we are able to see Hinduism. So, as I said, Sri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Swamiji is also one such wonderful saint, and he is the 68th Peethadipati of this Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham. Now let's know something about his childhood and how he became this Peethadipati. Okay, uh, any sannyasi will have a name before he become a sannyasi, because when they were born, the parents will give them a name, and after a certain age, when they become sannyasis, the guru will change the name. So for our Paramacharya Swamiji, the previous name was Swaminathan. He was born in 1894 and he was alive for 100 years. So he attained Samadhi in 1994, which is very recent. So many of the people who are still alive have seen this Paramacharya directly, and they got the chance to speak to him, visit him, take his blessings, and there are many people who are still alive. So we are talking about a person from the very recent past. So, Swaminathan was born in 1894 in Viluppuram in Tamil Nadu. It's a small place in Tamil Nadu. So, he was the second son of Subramanya Sastrigal. So, his father's name is Subramanya Sastrigal. He is a DEO. You know, DEO is District Education Officer. So Swaminathan's early education was in Arcot American Mission High School. That is in Tindivanam. This is also in Tamil Nadu. So since his father is a DEO, he was transferred there, and since his father is working in Tindivanam, he got his education in this missionary high school. He was an exceptional student and he also excelled in several subjects. He had a very sharp memory and he had the ability to grasp different texts with ease. So he was so proficient that in one of the Bible recitations, he won a prize. So when he was 12 years of age, a significant event took place, and that has changed the course of Swaminathan's life forever. At that point of time, Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham was having the 66th Peethadipati, and he is Sri Chandrasekhara the 6th. So this Swamiji came to Tindivanam. Tindivanam is the place where our Swaminathan is residing. We have talked about that. So in Tindivanam, this 66th Acharya has come. He came to observe Chaturmasyam. So generally, these sannyasis don't stay at a particular place for a prolonged period. So only during Chaturmasya they stay there, because Chaturmasya is that for 4 months they don't move anywhere, because that is the time of the rainy season. It is very difficult for mobility. That is the reason they fix in a particular place, and for those 4 months they stay there. So during one such Chaturmasya, they came to this Tindivanam where Swaminathan was staying. So this is the first exposure of this Matam and its Acharya to Swaminathan. So after that, Swaminathan accompanied his father whenever his father was visiting this mutt. And when Acharya was very deeply impressed by this young boy, see, at that point of time, the father didn't know that his son would be chosen as the next Peethadipati in maybe a very few years. All this happened in 1906, in the year 1906. So generally Chaturmasya comes in the month of July and it ends in October. So these 4 months they were there. After that, in the next year, that is in 1907, in the month of February, that is, we can say maybe after some 3 or 4 months after Acharya has left that place, this Kanchi Kamakoti Matam has informed Subramanya Shastrigal that Swaminathan's first cousin will be the next Peethadipati. So Swaminathan's mother's sister and her son is Lakshmi Nathan. So this Lakshmi Nathan is going to be the next Peethadipati. So the present Peethadipati is 66th, as we have talked about, and the next one is the 67th Peethadipati. So this information was received by Subramanya Shastrigal. The presiding Acharya was actually suffering from smallpox. So he knew that he would not live for a long time. So he administered the Upadesa to his disciple Lakshminathan before he died. So when the news about Lakshminathan becoming the next Peethadipati has come to Sastrigal, he was not in Tindivanam. So he was on duty, he was in some other place. So he arranged for Swaminathan and his mother to go to Kanchipuram, just because his mother's sister will be so, it is very difficult to leave their son as a sannyasi. So just to Just to console her, this lady wanted to go. So Swaminathan and his mother went to Kanchipuram. At that time, Lakshminathan was camping in Kalavai. That is another place which is almost an hour distance from Kanchi. So this Lakshminathan's mother is a widow by then. So she doesn't have a husband and the son is going to become a sannyasi. It is a very difficult situation for any woman. They got down near Kumarakoshta Tirtha. That is like a small lake. So he had a bath in that. Swaminathan had a bath in that Tirtha. And by that time, a carriage of the mutt had come there from Kalavai because they came to buy some articles for the Mahapuja on the 10th day of passing of this 66th Acharya. Since has died on the 10th day, they have to perform some rituals, and for buying some articles, they have come on a carriage. And one of the carriages there was a hereditary mestri. We call the mestri is a mason. He is the mestri of the mutt. So he came there and he asked Swaminathan to accompany him. So he was taken in that carriage, and there was a separate cart that was engaged for the rest of the family to follow this cart. So during this journey, this mestri has hinted Swaminathan that he might not return home, and for the rest of his life he might spend in the mutt itself. So this is the first information that Swaminathan got. He was just going to visit his cousin, but the sudden shock is that this Mestri has hinted him. He didn't give the complete information, but he just hinted him that you might not be returning home. Maybe for the rest of your life, you will be spending in the mutt only. So he was thinking, my elder brother is becoming, my cousin is becoming the head of the mutt, Peethadipati. So maybe he is wishing that I should live with him. That is the reason, because I'm staying alone. I want my brother also to stay with me. Maybe he's asking for something like that. So that's the reason this Mestri has told me that. But slowly the Mestri started telling all the details. The Acharya had a fever and which was very severe and it is increasing day by day. Then that's the reason Swaminathan was being separated from the family to be taken to Kalavai. Now, which Acharya are we talking about? We are talking about the 67th Acharya, that is Lakshminathan himself, because the previous Acharya has already died and this new Acharya also developed some fever. So, this is very shocking, and Swaminathan was stunned by this unexpected turn of all the events. He was very shocked that he didn't know what to do because he is a very small child. He was just chanting Rama Rama inside his mind because that is the only prayer that he knew at that age. So he was chanting Rama Rama. Why is this happening? Rama Rama. That is how his mental status is. So his parents didn't know about this. Only Swaminathan came to know about this, and the remaining family members, his mother and other children who are there in the next cart, they only came to know about this after they reached this place. They understood that this is what is going to happen. So why did this lady come here? Swaminathan's mother came to console her sister, but she herself was placed in a state that she has to be consoled now. This Lakshminathan is now named as Mahadeva the sixth. As I have already told you, whenever a person becomes a sannyasi, it is like a second birth to them. So they give a new name. They forget about all the previous relations, all the previous life they led. They only remember the life that they're going to start now. So it is like a second birth. That's the reason they are given a new name. So Lakshminathan is given the name as Mahadeva the sixth. But unfortunately, he was as the Peethadipati for only 7 days. That is the shortest term for this Peetham. So after Mahadeva passed away, immediately Swaminathan was installed as the 68th head of the Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham. And that was on February 13th, 1907. As I've told you, he is born in 1894. So he is hardly 12 to 13 years of age. So at that age, how difficult, you just imagine how difficult it is for a person to suddenly become an ascetic without his permission or without his knowledge. Suddenly, it is decided that he should become the Swamini. First of all, becoming a sannyasi is a very tough task. Also, he is the Peethadipati for one of the most famous Peetham. So it involves a lot of work. So that is the responsibility that is given to him. So he was given the sannyasa ashramam at the early age of 13, and then he was named Chandrasekharendra Saraswati. So on May 9th of 1907, his Pattabhishekam has happened and he became the 68th Peethadipati of Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham. And this Pattabhishekam was performed in Kumbakonam Mutt. It is not a small event. Many devotees will be present in that. Many people have come, including Shivaji Maharaj of Tanjore, the government officials, many pandits, many people have participated in the event, and thus he became the Peethadipati. And since then, Sri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Mahaswamy has performed this wonderful, it is like a yagna, serving people, knowing their problems, solving them, and teaching them whenever something is required, some suggestions are required, you're going to give them. All this, he dedicated his entire life for the people, and that is not for 1 or 2 years, it is for 87 long years. As I've told you, he lived for 100 years and he became a sannyasin at 13th year. So for 87 years, he was there. And when you want to, if you are more interested, you can just go to the internet and browse for the list of Kanchi Kamakoti Peethadipadis. You have their official website also, kamakoti.org. In that, you can find the list of all the Peethadipatis. After this Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Swamiji, the 69th Peethadipati was Jayendra Saraswati Swamiji, and after that, just very recently in 2018, Shankara Vijayendra Saraswati Swamiji became the 70th Peethadipati, and he is the present Peethadipati. If you go to the website, you can see all the details of all the Peethadipatis right from Adi Shankaracharya till now, and where they were born, when they, in which place they attained their samadhi, in which year they obtained their siddhi, and all these details will be available in that. If you are interested, you can always go and visit. So this is a brief history about Chandrasekharendra Swamiji, and now from the next episode, we'll just get to know about some of his important life events which will be of interest to us. Okay, have a good day. Bye bye.